The war between Liberia and Germany, 1914 to 1918. When the world was swallowed by war in 1914, Liberia was watching from the edge, quiet and careful. Europe was burning, but Liberia was small, young, and far away from the trenches. The leaders of the country believed the best way to survive was to stay neutral. Liberia had no army strong enough to fight a European power, no weapons to spare, and no desire to be dragged into a conflict that was not born on its soil. At first, that decision seemed wise, but neutrality did not protect Liberia for long. Germany had already planted deep roots in Liberia before the war began. German traders controlled a large part of Liberia's foreign commerce. German ships docked regularly in Liberian ports, and German companies ran businesses that fueled the local economy. Most important of all was a powerful German wireless radio station in Monrovia. Through that station, Germany could communicate with its warships in the Atlantic Ocean. To Liberia, it was just business. To Germany's enemies, it was a threat. As the war intensified, Britain and France began to see Liberia not as a neutral state, but as a doorway Germany was using to fight from a distance. Both countries surrounded Liberia with their colonies, and they watched every move Monrovia made. Messages arrived, demands followed. Liberia was warned that allowing Germany to operate freely inside its borders was dangerous. The pressure grew heavier by the day. Liberia was trapped in a difficult position. Germany was one of its strongest trading partners, and cutting ties meant economic suffering. Yet, refusing Britain and France meant risking invasion or isolation. Liberia had little military power and no real way to defend itself if the European empires decided to force compliance. What began as a distant war had now reached Liberia's doorstep. The situation reached a breaking point in 1917 when Germany announced unrestricted submarine warfare. German submarines began sinking ships without warning, even those belonging to neutral nations. This action shocked the world and pulled the United States into the war. For Liberia, it changed everything. The country could no longer stand in the middle. Neutrality had become impossible. Under growing pressure from the United States and the Allied powers, Liberia made a decision that would reshape its future. In August 1917, Liberia officially declared war on Germany. There were no major battles fought on Liberian soil. No Liberian troops marched across Europe. Yet the consequences were real and immediate. German ships in Liberian waters were seized. German businesses were taken over by the government. The wireless radio station that once connected Germany to the Atlantic was shut down. German nationals were detained, and all diplomatic ties were cut. Germany responded by ending all relations with Liberia. Trade collapsed overnight. The Liberian economy suffered deeply, and the people felt the weight of the decision in their daily lives. Still, Liberia stood firm. The declaration of war was not about military strength. It was about survival and sovereignty. Liberia chose to align itself with the powers that recognized its independence and could protect it from being swallowed by colonial ambition. When World War I ended in 1918, Liberia emerged battered but recognized. It was counted among the Allied nations and later became a founding member of the League of Nations. The war between Liberia and Germany had not been loud or bloody, but it had been decisive. It showed how even a small nation could be pulled into global conflict, not by choice, but by circumstance. Liberia's involvement in the war was a reminder that in a world ruled by powerful empires, staying neutral was sometimes the most dangerous position of all. And in choosing a side, Liberia was not chasing glory, it was fighting to remain standing.